Welcome to another episode of Gracias Come Again. Let me start this out by saying Puerto Rico, Boricuas, Spanish Harlem, Freestyle freaks, where you at? Because yes. K7 is in the building. Come on.
Thank you.
I wish I had some horns or some shit.
The honor is mine, by the way. The honor is mine to be up here with you.
Stop. You're a goat. Stop it.
Thank you.
You're being way too humble right now.
But I'm going to be honest with you. With these things, I'm watching all the interviews all the time. So
you see the repertoire. You see who's been up here. You see who done sat in that seat already.
I see all my friends who have been up here.
I know, right? Doesn't it feel cool, right? You're like, oh, I know her. I know him. I know her. And today's your turn.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say you're in the hot seat because we like to keep it so positive, so chill, and so uplifting up here.
I'm willing to go anywhere you want to go.
Okay.
All right. So I'm comfortable. I'm good.
All right. Let's get it, man. Puerto Rico.
Ponce, Puerto Rico.
¿Tú naciste en Ponce? Eso fue lo que yo leí.
Criado en Ponce.
¿Criado también en Ponce?
Sí.
Oh. Talk to me about mom and dad. Mom is puertorriqueña.
My mom is 100% Puerto Rican. De Ponce. Lujetel Figueroa.
I love that. It'll get no more Puerto Rican than Figueroa.
My dad is, he's what I consider a Canarican.
What does that mean?
So he's 75% Puerto Rican, 25% Canadian.
Oh, okay.
So
white Canadian?
Yeah. I think I never got to really meet him.
Okay.
But no, he's not white Canadian. Okay. He's black Canadian.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, so he met my mom over here. My mom came and did nursing school here.
In New York?
In New York.
And dad was here?
And my dad was here. My dad was a dentist, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, and he was...
Don't tell me he was mom's dentist.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. My dad was probably a player and met my mom on, saw her like, oh, look esa trigueña por ahí. And
mira que linda.
And that's how it started. How it started.
And then mom went back and had you in Puerto Rico?
Mommy had me here. I was born in Lenox Hill Hospital here.
Okay, so you were born here.
But then I was raised over there.
So mom and dad...
They sent me back over here at... They sent me back here at 4. Then they sent me back and I did first, second, and third grade over there.
So you remember being little in Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Did you love it?
Everything. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you.
Dime.
I didn't like coming back.
Why? You missed?
Because over there it's like la fiesta patronale, el campamento. Like they would always take you away to, summer camp. There was always something family oriented that you were doing. And my biggest hero was my grandfather. So my grandfather would take me everywhere. He used to drive these trucks. He used to deliver like chemicals from one side of the island to another. Mm-hmm. There was a company out there called La Colco. And they used to have these big gallons of
like
chemicals.
Barrels?
Yeah, like stuff that in The Simpsons would blow up the whole town.
Oh, my God. And your grandfather was delivering them with you?
Him and my two uncles would pack the trucks, and then we'd go around the entire island. We'd drive around the entire island. I'd be with them as they delivered across the island to all these different refineries and places like that.
Becoming a man without you even knowing, right? Just watching them.
Yeah, little by little. I saw what it takes to work, I guess, from my grandparents.
And that's beautiful because you were there not with your dad, but you had your abuelo, you had your tios, and it's because, at the end of the day, a boy needs, those male figures to look up to.
Yeah.
Abuelo was yours?
My abuelo, my uncle Carlos, and my tío Huizo. So they were the until I moved back here, and then I got all my friends from the neighborhood. But those were the guys who basically
molded
me.
They were like, let me show you lo que es un hombre.
Yeah.
When it comes to Puerto Rico, man, you guys are going to make sure,
Yeah.
No llore, no haga esto, no haga lo otro. y when it has to women, they're going to show you a lot too.
Well, in my family, the women rule.
Ay, qué bueno. I love that.
Five aunts. My mom was one of 5 women, and then my 2 uncles. So
y las mujeres were like, yo mando aquí. Don't play with me. Don't play
with me. Like, and my, our matriarch, my grandmother she was the queen.
La patrona.
Yeah, she'd be in the marquesina
Con su
rocking back
mecedora,
and
right?
forth for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Con su cafecito y su vaina.
Not really. My grandmother wasn't really a coffee
She
drinker.
wasn't?
No,
But was she a cigar smoker? Because some grandmas be real G's. Bro.
No.
Tampoco.
No, not at all. My grandma was different. My grandmother was a different type of lady. Like elegante when she wanted to go out, but bata all day long. Like if she wasn't going nowhere, it's bata and the rocking chair.
Su batica y nice and comfortable. Because you know what? At the end of the day, abuela already did what she had to do, right?
And the best cook ever.
Oh, claro que sí. You remember what she would cook for you?
Crema every single day, the best crema. And
Dame envidia. What's crema?
Crema is like cream of wheat.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it.
But
Nosotros
really,
le decimos harina de negrito.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, o harina de maíz.
También.
And they would grind it to the smallest little morsel, and it would be delicious. It would creamy and great. It's great food, great.
Era como farina, maicena,
But then lunch
avena.
would be dinner.
Claro que sí. A dormir se ha dicho. Arroz, habichuela, pollo.
It's funny because when I was in school in Puerto Rico, they would send you home for lunch. So you'd get out at like 11:30, and then you wouldn't go back to school till like 1:30.
Okay.
And during that time, we drive home, and then my uncles and my grandfather and I would just sit there. My grandmother would cook rice, beans, pork chops, or
de todo.
Whatever it was. But it was this big meal.
Un lonche que
Right.
para dormirse nada más.
Like itis food in the middle of the day. And
Un aguacatico.
Right. And then the rest of the day, and then you'd come back, and then there would be a bigger meal for dinner. And I'm like, I thought that's how life should be. So when I came back here, my mom was peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a pat
she was
on the back.
busy. Your mother out here grinding. She's like, "¿Qué chuleta for lunch?" ¿Será tu loco?
Yeah, my mom used to work. Well, God rest her soul. Used to work at Mount Sinai Hospital. So she would work nights to be with me during the day.
Ay, qué chula. I like that.
And she'd come home and she'd be so exhausted from the night before working in the emergency room that she'd like, mira, te voy a enseñar a hacer huevo. And, aquí, hazte el desayuno y vete. And go to school and come back and then make your own lunch. And I'm like, when you waking up?
You were like, but abuela used to, make habichuelas from scratch. She's
but the weekends she would do that. She would
throw down in the kitchen?
do all that stuff. Yeah, my mom was an incredible baker. She was an incredible cook.
What was your mom's name?
Lujetel Figueroa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She,
Dios la bendiga.
Thank you. She was amazing. My mom was amazing. A very strict mom, incredibly strict mom. I'll tell you a story.
Tell me.
When we first started, when TKA first started.
How old were you? Teenager, right?
A teenager, yeah. Yeah, a teenager. Our first single came out, I was 18 years old when our first single came out. But we were together, I think I was like around 14, 15 years old.
Un carajito.
Right. And the funniest thing about that is my mom was so strict that she would want me home at a certain time.
Oh, pero claro.
Yeah, if the sun goes down, you better be inside. And I used to perform literally around the corner from my house and in this Catholic school called St. Francis. And me and my mom, because my mom worked at the hospital, we lived in the residence building on the corner of 96th Street and Park Avenue. I wasn't fancy. I didn't have the money.
That's a nice address right there.
Yeah, but it was only because my friends thought I had dough. But it was only because my mom was a resident of the hospital and they give cheaper rent to the residents, that work at Mount
We'll take it. Thanks, Mom.
So my whole commute to the show was walking around the corner and coming right back.
Okay.
Mommy said, be home at a certain time. I'm on stage. We're performing. The doors to the auditorium of the school open up. It's raining outside and Mommy's standing outside with an umbrella. It looked like, like,
the gates of heaven opened up, but not in a good way.
Like a Western. And she's standing there, and I'm like, oh, my God. And she goes,
Bájate de ahí.
And all my friends turn like this, and here I am climbing off the stage to walk out the gate. And my mom was walking up the block, dándome, the whole...
Un sermón.
Yeah, the full lecture as we walked around. Yo te dije que llegaran aquí a esta hora.
¿Qué tú te crees? ¿Que tú te gobiernas? Tú no te mandas. That's their favorite line.
Absolutely.
That is insane.
Absolutely.
When did you leave Puerto Rico and come here?
Uh,
Well, to New York.
Third grade.
Third grade?
Third grade.
Do you still remember your plane ride coming here?
We used to have this routine every time I got on a plane because I learned how to speak Spanish before I learned how to speak English. So when we were going to Puerto Rico, is no more English. When we were coming back, is no more Spanish until we got here. Pero Mami would break that rule because that's how she spoke to me. She spoke to me in Spanglish all the time.
Lo que le salga.
Yeah. And when I knew that I wasn't going back to do fourth and fifth grade out there, I was angry. I came back angry. Mommy was promising me that I would still go out there for every summer, but I had made friends. You know,
it's heartbreaking.
I had been in school. I used to go to this academy out there, this La Academia Cristo Rey in Ponce. And I had all my friends there. We had, that's the beginning of all, when you're going to your friends' parties all the time as a little kid, and having fun. And I came over here and I had an adjustment period. I had to adjust.
Un chin de depresión, un poquito.
A little bit.
And I get it, because I was one of those
bit.
kids that would get shipped back and forth between New York and Dominican Republic. And I remember it was like, my friends.
And what made it tough was where I did have friends in El Barrio, my mother began to move to different locations. So we moved from 96th Street, we moved to 90th Street. We lived there for a year and a half. And then my mom chose to move to Hollis, Queens.
Oh, nah. She really took you far.
And then I lived in Hollis, Queens for a minute. And then we moved back. And it was just like, I felt confused as a kid because I wanted to just stay one place. But from Puerto Rico to living here to then living there it just felt like a whole bunch of
chaotic. But we have to show our moms grace,
Oh, I do.
Back in the days,
I do.
She was a single mom?
Yes.
Oh,
she
so
was
forget about it.
Until she met my stepmonster. And
we're going to get into that.
I won't talk about him.
Okay, fine.
Stepmonster's good enough.
All right. We'll leave it at that.
And then
but it's like,
but my mom did her best, and where as a kid I didn't understand it, now as a father of three, I fully get
you look back
the sacrifices that my mom made for me. Yeah.
Now you look back and you're like, I get it. And you're probably giving her a hard time when you were chiquito, right?
Like we don't know what's good for us until common sense hits us later on in life. And and I'm grateful for the things that my mom did. Like growing up, it's funny, but growing up in different places around New York, I feel like I lived in every borough, right? With the exception of, I practically lived in Brooklyn. I had a girlfriend that lived in Brooklyn. But I lived in almost every single borough, and I learned from everything. And during that time, New York was starting to musically change. Breakdancing was popular. Hip hop was becoming popular. Everyone, so I was in different locations. So living in Hollis, I started seeing the effects of hip hop. And then moving back to Manhattan, I got into the whole Rocksteady and following Rocksteady crew around and going to all these different locations. And there was a movement back then of going to roller skating jams and, going to ones down in the city to party. It was just like New York began to bubble, and I began to find my place because of music. And it just started shifting for me, and it became this
culture,
this cultural thing.
Yeah. When did you first discover you could sing? De chiquito.
Well, okay. My mom used to be a huge, I'm going to run the gamut of all the singers she loved. She loved Nat King Cole.
Beautiful voice.
She loved Tom Jones. She loved these two Latin singers. One was called Rafael, and then the other one was called Sandro. Sandro was the equivalent of Elvis Presley and Tom Jones mixed together. So, and my mom was big on musicals. So I was raised with this music being played around the house. And I used to mimic Rafael. So I used to take my little church blazer, I used to hang it up over my shoulder, and I used to take a candle, turn the candle upside down because it looked like those weird mics from back then. And I used to pretend to sing on top of the, living room table. So anyone that would come to the house, mommy would put Rafael on, and I would start pretending to sing on top
she
of the
actually
table.
encouraged it? I love this.
You know what? I'll text you a picture so you can see me in a onesie. You'll laugh. I'm in a onesie.
Already?
On stage performing to people, and they haven't even taken their coats off.
I know, you were born for this. You were born for this.
And I started there. But did I think I was going to be a singer? Absolutely not. When I discovered hip-hop music, when I first heard Rapper's Delight on the radio, and I heard Big Band Hank talking about spelling Casanova, at that very moment, I was like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that.
Something clicked?
Yeah, because as a little kid, I was writing poems anyway. I used to like, rhyming stuff. So I said, oh, I can do that.
Were you a sensitive kid?
Yes.
You said poem?
Yes.
Took me there.
Yeah, because as a kid, I ain't gonna lie to you, I used to think, all little boys go through this. You like a girl in school, but she doesn't like you yet. She ain't gonna like you for another 5 years.
Of course.
So, that early rejection, I think sparked my wanting to be a songwriter, because I was like, oh, she don't think I'm cute?
Oh.
Wait, my mom thinks I'm cute. She doesn't think I'm cute.
Well, that's your mom.
Right, pero contra, and when I go to Puerto Rico, all my little cousins' friends would like me, but the girls that I liked here didn't like me.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Always. And so I think that made me want to express my feelings that way.
So you said?
Pen to paper. Pen to paper. It would be how I would zone out. I would fall into this little thing of trying to write these poetic things, and I used to walk around with back then the cool thing is, now you see them on Amazon, but back then they used to have these like gun holsters, and they used to have these giant zippers here, and you'd carry this little loose leaf notebook, and you'd carry it in there with a pen. Okay. And everywhere I would go, I'd pull it out and I'd start writing these songs, or ideas for raps, and that's how I started.
So you started as a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's what you just told me right now.
Pretty much.
And when did you decide I'm going to sing these songs, or did you start singing covers?
When I was in school, I had a little mini group called Future Force.
Okay.
It was me, my friend John Lindsay, and our two friends from Hell's Kitchen, Andrew Welsh and Fareed Abdullah. 3 Puerto Ricans and 1 black guy, right? And John lived across the street from me, and he had DJ equipment.
Where are we living now?
In Harlem.
Okay.
I lived on
Spanish Harlem?
At that moment, I lived on 93rd Street and First.
Got it.
And John lived across the street in Stanley Isaac's projects. And I used to cross the street, and I used to come, and we used to turn the lyrics of Barry Manilow's Looks Like We Made It into like a rap routine, where he'd take a line and I'd take another line. And
you were going back and forth?
Yeah, and we were trying to sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to harmonize at that moment, because we were trying to imitate the groups of the time, like the Cold Crush or the Force MCs, who later became the Force MDs, and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. We were trying to imitate those guys. And I began to write these routines. I began to write these raps. We were recording them into cassettes, thinking that everything was going to be great.
Like press and record?
Yeah.
I love this.
And we'd come down here and we'd meet them, and then they'd come back uptown and we'd record with them. And one day we said, we need a manager. And we found this lady named Leslie. I forgot what her last name was. And she started taking us around. I remember performing.
White lady?
A white lady. A little, really short white lady. Like, pardon me for describing her in this, but she looked roly-poly.
Una gordita.
Gordita. No,
Una
gordita's
gordota.
different. Roly-poly, completamente diferente.
Okay, got it.
Right? Like, she was short. She's like, and she wore ginormous clothes, so it made her look
more ginormous.
right. And she took us and we performed at the Watchung Mall. And we came back. We didn't have a car. She drove us all the way out there, and we came all the way back. And we thought
She saw the potential.
Yeah, we thought we made it, but nothing happened for like another 6 months. And I wrote this song in school, halfway through lunch, and I thought somehow we're gonna turn this into a rap song.
Okay.
And I went home and I was washing dishes. You know, my mom had me doing chores, and I called my friend up. I'm like, yo, look at this thing that I just wrote early on today in school. Tell me if you think it's good. I think it's good. It ends up being Scars of Love.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you at this point?
I
Teenager.
was 16 years old.
Un chamaquito.
Yeah. And we went to, I had a girlfriend that lived out in Nordstrom in Brooklyn, and her sister used to work at VIM. I know I'm dating myself, but I'm letting you guys know.
But I feel like VIM's still around, or am I bugging?
Yeah. It was VIM on Brooklyn, out by church, and she called me up and she says, my sister said that that there's a guy that works with her named Mike, and they're looking for a Puerto Rican rap group. And I said, well, we got 75% of that, so let's go. Can he meet with us? And we went out there, and we met the gentleman by the name of Mike Hughes, a guy by the name of Baby Jerry, and a gentleman by the name of Junior. They were members of a group called Full Force.
Okay.
And
they were looking for the rap group?
They were looking for a Puerto Rican rap group.
Got it.
At the time, they already had UTFO. As a matter of fact, as we were walking in, UTFO was walking out, and they played us Roxanne, Roxanne. But we knew UTFO because at the time, because of the breakdancing movement, UTFO was known as the Keystone Dancers. And they used to breakdance at the Roxy back in the day. And I saw them, was impressed to see them because we knew them as, at the time it was head nod, what's up, what's up, and we did 2 demos with them. And at the end of those 2 demos, they were like, hey, do you know a girl that can sing? Mm-hmm. And I had just started high school, and I had a huge-ass crush on a girl named Lisa that used to be in school. Mm-hmm. And I said, yo, your sister's best friend, we should bring her here. And we brought Lisa to Full Force.
Get out of here. Look at how this comes all together.
Yeah, so Lisa predates us, predates TKA by 2.5 years. And my group, right after those demos, we broke up. And I started looking for another group, and
what happened?
I got together.
You just can't be like, we broke up.
We broke up. It wasn't anything.
Did it fade or
because
come on, I was invested in this first group.
Could I be honest with you? Yeah. The commute between the Upper East Side to find your 2 other partners down here at the time for kids.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
So you were like, I need people closer to home?
I need people closer to home. And John chose to stay with them, and I wanted to do my own thing.
Were you already K7 or not yet?
No, okay. No. At the time, I was, oh my God, the most embarrassing name ever. I had my name was KL, which is my thing, KL, and then you had to have like another cool name after it. So my name was KL Mr. Blast, which
long ass name.
To this day, yo digo, ¿por qué?
Tanto nombre.
Right, and I'm like,
it makes sense though.
Yo, but it's like, but I had a ton of nicknames. Like, KL's always been my name since I was little. Mm-hmm. Since I was 11, KL's always been my name. But they also used to call me Loco. But every time my friends used to knock on the door or ring the bell to my house and go through the intercom, dile a Loco que baje, my mother used to lose.
Don't play with my kid calling him no Loco.
No, there's no Loco.
I don't want it, and I'm not your mom.
Yeah. So, so KL became permanent, and because it became that, I think when you use one name in particular and it rings in people's minds, that's what it stayed, and I stood with that. I stood with that throughout all of TKA until I knew that I was going to start something new, and I wanted to give myself a chance as opposed to carrying the burden of saying, oh, it's this guy from that.
Okay.
I wanted to have a fresh start, and that's when the K7 came out.
Clean break. So now we're alone. We're in Spanish Harlem. You're like, I'm going to do this by myself. Now, how does TKA come together?
The corner of my block.
What's your block?
96th Street and Park.
We still on 96th and Park? Okay.
Yeah, because from 93rd, I moved back up to 96 to the other resident building. So one resident building to the other resident building.
We'll take it.
And when I got to the corner, when I got there, one day I go outside. There was a supermarket downstairs, and my mother sent me downstairs to get Wonder Bread. That was my mom's thing. Wonder Bread. Luisito, baja abajo y búscame el Wonder Bread.
Un pan Wonder, como le decían.
So I come downstairs to go get the bread, and I see Tony Ortez, who was who became part of TKA. I go to him. I'm like, I knew he was a rapper from the neighborhood, and I'm like, yo, I got this idea. Maybe we could become a crew together.
I love this.
And I said, let me sing to you this song. So between 96th Street and 97th Street, there was a little park right there, and we're right across the street from that park. They used to walk the dogs. All the rich people walked their dogs in that little park. I started singing Scars of Love in the middle of the street. And he goes, come to my house tomorrow. I'm going to call my cousin. And I said, oh, I'm going to call Spider, my best friend, and which was his friend as well. And we all met the following day at his house. And I taught them Scars of Love, and then I taught them a couple of other songs that I had. And we started performing in the neighborhood at any Sweet 16 that we could. And at, anywhere we possibly could, we were performing. And at the time, I was always still going down the block to my own neighborhood. And I came across Tommy Boy Records, which was down the block. I walked in. I saw Africa Bambaataa because I used to pass out flyers for Harlem World and on 116th Street in Lenox. And I saw Africa Bambaataa. I followed him into the building.
You were like, let me see what's in here?
Yeah. And he says it's a record label, and the receptionist at the record label ended up being the guy who produced all the songs for TKA and K7. His name is Joey Gardner, God rest his soul. Yeah.
How did that even happen?
But I say,
did he, when you walked, divine connections? You
I make it sound simple, but it was really it was fate. But when I walked in, I curious little kid, I'm going, yo, I would like to have you hear my demo. And he goes, no, that doesn't happen that way. And I'm like, because he had all the attitude. And he, God rest his soul. When you're
front-facing a business, you got to be
right.
business.
And I'll go, I'm performing at this block, at the school. You should come see us perform. And he was like, and
Stone
he
cold.
listened to me. No, I'm describing someone to a T. That's how Joey was. And he laughed at me, but he showed up. And when he showed up and we all introduced ourselves to him, I think something sparked in his mind.
It clicked.
And he started hearing us sing. We had 3 songs. We had the song called At the Heat of the Night. We had the song called Desire. And we had Scars of Love. And we used to always do them over like instrumental of the rap records that were out at the time. So there was a group called Mastodon and the Def Committee. And they had this thing called Funk Box.
Okay.
A Funk Box party, and we used to do Scars of Love to that. And he heard it, and he was like, I think that song has potential to be able to do something, but let's see how it works out. And bit by bit, we started fine-tuning what we did, and he brought us to Tommy Boy, and we got signed.
Get out of here, yo. That's a dope story. I love this.
Tommy Boy didn't hear us when they signed us.
But they believed his word?
They believed his word. They believed his word, and we got a chance.
You got more than a chance. Shit, you got stardom.
Yeah. I mean,
And how long were you with Tommy Boy?
I was with Tommy Boy from 1980. We signed in 85. Was it 85? Yeah, we signed in 85. Our first single came out in 86. And
what was that? One Way Love?
Was One Way Love.
You've been active 40 years?
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
And our last album with Tommy Boy came out in 2000. So we left the label around 03.
Okay, so you were with them for quite some time.
Yeah. Yeah. And but the group broke up in 92. 91, excuse me. The group broke up in 91.
While still signed?
While still signed.
Why? What happened? Who decided this is not going to work anymore?
We just had difference of opinions and different.
On musically?
Musically.
Okay.
And we weren't getting along as a group. And I felt like I needed to leave, and Joey Gardner felt like we all needed to be apart for some time.
Okay.
And sadly, it came to an end. And the demos that we had for what was going to be our third album, and what was part of my solo album as well, became part of our greatest hits package. So
that's the album that's like white with like a little bit of blue and a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that's the album that had Maria. So Maria was originally supposed to be a K7 record, and the only demo that we had finished was Is It Love with Tony Moran.
That's a beautiful song.
So those two songs, we said, well, Joey convinced me to give Maria to the group.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, all right, fine. Because I had so much stuff already built up, and my stuff, I was veering more towards hip hop. And Joey, and I had two other freestyle songs that I liked more at the time than Maria, believe it or not. And
can I ask a question? Was Maria a real person?
Yes.
Because I've heard like,
I won't say her name. But
it wasn't Maria?
Maria's a combination of two girls.
Both yours?
Both two girls that I dated.
Okay.
One girl I played dirty.
Okay.
So when I talk about the bad guy in the song, I wrote it as a drug dealer, but the guy who is the bad guy in the song was really psychotic. It was me talking about me.
It's fine.
So it's the good side of me, is the angel and the devil talking about, the same type of thing. But I needed to make the villain what was a villain to our mothers then.
Yeah, what we would be like, of course, he's a bad guy.
Yeah, because if your mother knew back then that you were dating a drug dealer, your mom would be like, no.
Tumba eso.
Yeah, finish that. So, and it worked for songwriting, and it worked for telling the story in the right way. So yeah.
So it was two women.
It was two girls.
Nobody named Maria?
No, but both their names began with M.
Okay. Marisol, Marisela,
yeah,
Mariela, all those names that we love.
One of them is actually from the projects.
Okay.
So she's actually from Gowanus Projects in Brooklyn. And as a matter of fact, she used to work at Lutheran Hospital. And did until recently, I believe, right?
You kept in contact?
No.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Like, I believe she worked until recently. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe the past 10, 15 years, she probably still was working there.
Okay. And the other one?
The other one was the girl. If you ever see my Come Baby Come video, it's the girl, the other girl, the girl that I'm making out with in my Come Baby Come video. That's the other person who's Maria.
And that was somebody else who you dated?
That's somebody else who I dated.
Okay.
And the relationship was so volatile that we cared, but we couldn't work it out.
You're better apart.
It was better that we were apart.
That's good because, people tell me all the time, Maria's a real person, and Maria was in the hood, and I saw Maria, and I'm like, I got to get this from K7 because honestly.
It's funny because it's just recently that I've really told the story the way that it really is, and that it's about two people. But
did they know at the time when the song dropped? They hit you like word?
One of them knew.
One, okay.
The one that is in the Come Baby Come video never knew that the song was partially about her. The one that is from the projects.
The one you broke her heart?
Right. She actually knew. Every once in a while, throughout the years earlier on, she'd be like, hey, am I getting any royalties for this?
No.
I'm like, no, I didn't use your real name, But,
That's a good story. And you see, that's what's really, this is all about. It's just like those questions and, those stories that we talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
What really is the truth?
Yeah.
So thanks so much, for sharing that. I'm gonna send this to so many people. I'm like, you see, it was 2 people. It wasn't just that one girl.
It wasn't just one.
They go, Maria was a
just one.
bad bitch. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure she was. She got a whole song written about her.
No. As a matter of fact, you know what? She wasn't the one from Gowanus. She wasn't even a TKA fan.
She ain't like it?
No, she was a George Lamont fan.
Shout out George
like,
Lamont.
No, really. Like she was like to this day, I'm like you know like I would think she would come to the shows. No, she doesn't come to see me.
But you know what she was? She was a K7 fan on the low.
Yeah.
And in private. And that's all that matters, right?
I guess so. Babe, I'm just telling the story. I'm not reliving my memories.
Absolutely not. Listen, you the missus. You got the ring. You know what I'm saying? But, it's things that happened in our life. And, even though we're married now, we can't erase those things. You know what I'm saying?
I'm happy, man. I'm lucky. I have a wonderful wife who supports everything I do.
How is your wife?
Huh?
How is she doing?
She's doing well.
Good.
She last year she was dealing with cancer, and
that's why I asked. That's hard.
Right now, God is good, and we're on the other side of that right now.
Amen.
And I pray every single day that we remain on the other side of that. It's a weird time because I'm big on supporting, the cancer movement, the fighting cancer movement, and it's one thing when it affects friends and family, but when it affects the person you love most on the face of this earth,
your soulmate,
it changes everything, and it puts things in a different perspective, right? And where you would be doing this, where you would want to help in ways, it makes you go, damn, I wasn't doing enough before, and now I want to do more. And I say it's a strange time because I believe, and don't take my word for it, look around you, in the past 5 to 6 years, the amount of women that I know and the amount of people that I know that have come down with cancer that weren't necessarily on the road to having that in their families has increased or tripled. I can't believe how many people I've known, that have come down with this, and to see so many go through it and to have it hit home. Last year I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to perform. I wanted to stay home and just be with her.
Take care of her.
Worried about, I don't want to miss a moment. I don't want to not be here for her. I used to get mad when she wanted other people to go with her to her appointments. And I'm like, what?
Aww.
And I think I became too overbearing and too overprotective. I believe.
When you feel like you may lose, the love of your life, your soulmate, it's a different type of intensity that takes over your body.
Absolutely. I like, and I have an 8-year-old.
Oh, you have a baby.
Well, she's 8 now. At the time she was 6. At the time she was 6, and the light of her eyes, it's not daddy, it's mommy.
Aw.
Everything is mommy for her. I come second. Like, I'm her playmate.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll take it.
But she, and early on we told her, because we didn't want her to be shocked of my wife losing her hair or my wife slimming out, and my wife not being able to move around because of the chemo or whatever the case may be. And so we told her early, and she would be watching. There's a TV show of these 2 girls who are best friends, and one of the girls has, it's on Netflix, and one of the girls has cancer, and it's the best friend is supporting the girl as she loses her hair, and I'm like, so my daughter would ask all the right questions as a little kid, and I'm like, where I'm a mess and I don't want to ask the questions, like my daughter was asking my wife all the right things. It's just, it was
a tough time, but further solidified your marriage and it bonded you in a different way, right? You know,
yeah, that's my baby.
It is, right?
Yeah, as a matter of like
Where is she? I thought she was gonna come.
see, here's the thing.
It's okay.
My best friend, one of my best friends.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you
very much, and God bless your wife.
Yeah, and I share before I tell you what she's doing. I share because I know that there's others out there that might be going through the same thing. I know that there's husbands that are going through the same thing, and we men want to protect and control every situation. And the illest thing is that this is something that we have no control over. We can't stop it. We can't hold it and take it away from you.
Can't make it go away.
Yeah, we can try to console and wipe away the tears, but it's a tough thing to have to deal with, to see someone go through it. My wife today is going to see one of my best friends, who happens to be a freestyle singer as well, Betty D from Sweet Sensation.
Okay.
Who took my daughter with her up to Albany. So my daughter's been away from me for a week because she loves her Titi Betty, and my wife is going up there to pick up my daughter.
She coming home?
No, I'm going to be gone for 2 days. They're going to go up there, and they're hanging out in Albany. I don't know what there is to do in Albany. I know Albany's fun, but, they're planning, they're planning a whole girls' weekend.
Good for them.
Without me. And I'm like,
enjoy.
While I work, you go as a girl. They're like, yeah, we're leaving you behind.
Go make us money.
Go make us money.
That is so.
Go make us money.
No, for sure. Now, let's talk about going solo. I don't want to skip out, the whole, TKA era, but I first came to know of you when you went solo.
When I did?
When I was in Dominican Republic, K7 was the man, bro. I'm talking like my brothers, my sisters, my cousin. When Swing Better Swing came out, bro.
Can I tell you that the one place, we've been around the world. 2 places that mattered the most, I got to go to one of them. I didn't get to go to the second one. Second place I wanted to perform most in the world.
I know. Dilo.
Is DR.
You haven't performed there?
Never.
What are you, crazy? We loved you there.
Let me tell you
something. We still do.
Let me tell you. And you know what? Most of my barbers are Dominican. So all of them tell me. And it's the funniest thing. I have my swing kids, 2 of them, Los and Trey, were both Dominican. And when we went to Puerto Rico, they were like, are we going to go to DR? I'm like, we're going to go to DR. We're going to perform in DR. But it escaped us. We went everywhere else but there. Over the past, the song came out close to 30 years ago, right? And ever since then, we've been trying to get there to perform, but we haven't. DR is the one place that I want to go to perform.
Make it your business. Yo, when it's for that K7. I'm like, I get it. And I remember everybody was just really obsessed with you when you came out, because it was like you were Latino, but then you were hip hop and you were cool.
Oh, we it's always been when we were little kids, on TV would be our parents' music. Right? So if our mothers were watching the Latin channels, she'd be able to see the people at the time that were famous on the island, on either island, or in Colombia.
Ana Gabriel, Isabel Pantoja, Rafael, Jose.
But when we would turn on
regular
MTV or regular TV, we weren't represented.
Eso era Boy George, Wham,
right, and incredible artists, but none of them looked like us. None of them represented us. So my thing, especially being a dark-skinned Boricua,
un trigueñito,
right, was encontrar la forma to represent, so that seeing me opened the door to your mind to say, I can do that too. That was my biggest goal. And the guys that inspired me to rap were people like, there was a guy named Johnny D, who happened to be a close friend of ours. And there was a guy named Ruby D, and there's a guy named Prince Whippoorwhip, and there was a DJ named Charlie Chase. These are all legends in hip hop. These are guys that started at the very beginning of hip hop, right? In the early years of hip hop. These are the guys that were part of some of the major groups at that time. Mm-hmm. That's who made me want to do it. But there was so little of us at the time, right? And we didn't have the recognition of seeing us on television, right? And on flyers, when it's a black and white pictures, you can't really tell who's Puerto Rican and who's black, right? So when TKA started, all Puerto Rican group, we want to be seen. When that faded, there was still a void, right? Though freestyle was popping, there was still a void. And I wanted that for us again. So when
you were like, I'm not giving up.
Yeah, when we put the Swing Kids together, it was to do that. And when we went around the world, look, when we went to England, we were considered, they called us the Puerto Rican Take That. If you guys don't know, Take That is the equivalent of New Kids on the Block.
Okay.
In England.
Okay.
The big major star to come out of a group called Take That is a guy named Robbie Williams.
Oh, I remember
They
him.
just finished doing his life story in a movie. So we used to perform in those circuits. I performed with Mark Wahlberg. All these people during that period of time. We were all out there during.
So you were active around the same time that New Kids on the Block was active? That's like that period?
Well,
okay.
no, New Kids were active during TKA.
Okay.
But
they're still active, so I guess they never faded.
I was more active during Marky Mark time. I was
the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, K7. In fact, Mark Wahlberg was one of the people that like pushed us to put "Come Baby Come" out as a single, because him and his manager at the time, Miguel Melendez, who ended up being Janet's manager later on, and still manages many groups out today.
Do you feel like "Come Baby Come" was your biggest song ever?
Period. Yes, absolutely.
I love how you put a period behind it.
Yeah. Like it is. You want to hear the funniest thing?
Tell me.
The songs that I would write that were poetic and that would stand the test of time about love. These love songs that I would write. The fan base still follows me to this day. But one record that I wrote, and I'm going to be 100% honest with
Give
you.
It to me.
I say this all the time. One song that I wrote, I had no lyrics on the way to the studio, so I wrote a nonsense song. Basically, it was a nonsense song. It's me picking things out of the wind, writing the most simplest song that has paid me and sold more records than all my other songs combined. So,
"Come Baby Come."
"Come Baby Come." And knock on wood, I'm grateful. It's the gift that keeps giving, because I've been able to have it on movies and on TV shows and TV commercials, and it's taken me everywhere. So, it is the most bugged out thing. Like I did this weekend, I sang "Louder Than Love." I see all these doñas and these young girls swooning over the song. But then "Come Baby Come" comes out, and I see the dudes screaming, and the dudes are jumping, and I'm like, wow, this one song took me someplace different and did something different. It's not just a plaque. There's a feeling behind it.
Oh, there is. When that song come on, it's lit.
And it still works. And it's bugged out, My nieces and nephews, tell their friends, and their friends might go, "Who?" And then they'll sing the song and they go, "That's your uncle?"
I know exactly who it is, right?
Yeah.
What other song of yours do you feel like deserves the same type of love that, "Come Baby Come" gets?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
Out of the TKA songs?
Every song.
Well, if you're gonna say every song, I'd say all of them. But if you want me to pick
Well, you got to
one,
pick one out of all of those.
Louder Than Love. I wish.
But Louder Than Love is big, and we love it.
It's funny because I get a lot of R&B artists come to me and say, I love that song. But they do. But I want it to have the same effect.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If there was one song out of my catalog that I wish had the same effect as Come Baby Come, I wish it was Louder Than Love.
It just hits different. Yeah. We just get in our feels. It's like,
yeah.
Hey.
And it's.
But I feel you.
And it's the same reason. Believe it or not, it's because I know what the feeling of that song does. And I was always into ballads as a kid too. So
tú eras romántico.
Yeah, yo quería algo que te haga sentir por dentro.
Now, who do you feel like was the first freestyle artist ever? Like, who you could be like, this is the first freestyle artist?
Okay. I want to be politically correct and say this specifically.
Yeah.
There's a confusion when people talk about what freestyle is.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes people say Lisa freestyle, and she says, I'm not freestyle. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before, let me start with the artist that I consider.
Yeah.
Niobe.
That name always comes up.
She is number one. First freestyle artist ever.
Okay.
The reason I was going to explain it is because anything before Niobe, regardless of production, was electro-funk. Now, there are beats that are transitional into the freestyle movement. I Wonder If I Take You Home, Let the Music Play, Play at Your Own Risk, AEIOU. Those are transitional songs into what later became freestyle.
Got it.
The first official freestyle record is Please Don't Go, written by Andy Panda. Same guy who wrote Show Me, same guy who wrote Tears May Fall for Us. So that was the first. Lisa was made out to be an R&B artist. Mm-hmm. Can You Feel the Beat is a transitional record before the movement started. And for many, they like to lump that transitional period into what is freestyle, but it's really not. You know, a lot of those beats inspired it, but Planet Rock is really the major inspiration for freestyle, and that's a hip-hop record. Yeah. That's basically a hip-hop record. So
there you go. I needed to know. I'm like, you know, because Lisa's been up here, Brenda been up here, George Lamont's been up here. I was just talking to chorus people, and I'm like, who was the first ever freestyle artist?
It's Niobe.
There you go.
And
is she still with us?
Yeah, she still is.
God bless.
And now I believe her daughter has picked up the mantle. I think she's retired.
Really?
And her daughter has picked up the mantle, and she's incredible, just like her mother. And you know to me, her and Lisa, believe it or not, are two of the most inspirational voices for female freestyle, because they opened the door to the Latina sound in dance music, right? So, like, Lisa may not have been a freestyle artist, but when girls heard I Wonder If I Take You Home, and when they heard Can You Feel the Beat, it opened the door for like a Cynthia to try to have that same type of tone. Yeah. And, you know, an Niobe opened the door for like a Judy Torres to have that same type of tone and move forward, yeah. That's
beautiful how it just all ties together.
Yeah.
And you know what I love the most about it? That it was a Latino thing.
Yes.
Like, it
was the first Latin explosion, but it's the silent Latin explosion. It's like the silent M80.
Because it wasn't televised. I feel like, the Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, Pitbull era.
Well, you know why we weren't televised?
Why?
Because at the time, stations like MTV, before the VH1s, right, weren't really wanting to open the door for us. we were put the videos that expose or that George would do, or that the cover girls or that we would do, would be put in special rotation at the midnight hour for 1 hour on MTV, and the hassle to get within that 1 hour,
I can imagine,
was incredible, and they had no room for us. So, they had no room for us at the time. So as time went on and those walls were broken in, the people that were there picked up that slack, and that was Ricky and that was Mark. And, even though Mark came from our movement.
You were paving the way.
We did. We're like pioneers.
Once they arrived, ya estaba la calle, mira.
We're pioneers.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Knock on wood. Thank God.
That area, Spanish Harlem, bro, like how many stars came out of there? I feel like everybody talks about, I feel like India.
La India is from the Bronx.
Okay.
La India was the only female member of TKA. I don't know if
really? I didn't know that.
She started with us. She was
Oh, I need this story. Come on, that's my idol. I love her.
Was started. You could ask her. She's proud to say it.
Tickets just went on sale. I got that notification earlier.
Yeah, she started with us. Joey Gardner and we were frequenting a club called the Devil's Nest, and I used to hang out with her cousin Brenda, and Brenda brought India to us, and Trigueñita.
She was always eccentric. She was always India.
No, she was called Linda.
Okay.
Linda Caballero.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
And she walked in, long black hair. She had these baggy jeans and a midriff cut-off shirt. I think that's the last time I saw her in what I believe to be regular clothes.
Yeah.
She walked in and sang a Luther Vandross record, As Good as Luther.
And that's hard to do.
I want you to know, and I say this every time I talk about her, she is the most underrated singer, because she's giving you what you want. But if she was set free to do whatever she wanted, she's a beast. We had this demo of a song called Dancing on the Fire, and we were supposed to sing it as a duet for our first album. When I walked in the studio with her, we'd go to the same vocal trainer to teach us how to sing. We had rehearsed the song. Pero cuando ella entra and she opens her mouth, and that roar, I'm going to call it a roar. It's really her voice. But when I was like, oh no, this is hers.
Did you ever feel like I need to step my game up more?
No. She's the most different person. She's so different. There's only two women in the music business that I met that are totally that different. And it's her and Evie Queen. But Linda, I worked with on a regular basis and lived with and traveled with. And
so you know her.
She is different.
Spiritually?
She is spiritually different. Her energy is different. She's the sweetest soul, funny as hell. And when she switches that button to entertain you, you're like, where did this come from? Because when she's hanging out with you, you just think it's this little eccentric girl que you're saying, ella loquita, right?
Her vibe is different,
Yeah, and all of a sudden, and then you're like,
it's a switch?
What the?
That voice. I just saw her leaving college, bro. I was like, voice.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like I mentioned Evie too. Those two are original. If there's a word to say original, like meaning they're their own brand. They're their own.
Bro, cuando La Caballota salió, oh my God, who nobody was messing with her. Nobody.
I sang on her first album with her, and I met my wife during the time she was recording her first album, and we used to go to her sessions.
Your current wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
To meet up, to hang out. And
is your wife an artist also or no?
No.
Okay.
My wife, no, not at all. And my wife is a frustrated freestyle singer in the back of her mind.
Oh, she's like, fuck it, I'll marry one.
Yeah. My wife could say, my wife acts out Judy Torres' songs all the time at home, but she won't do it.
But I feel like that's all of us.
Yeah. And so Evie would start this session.
Who put you together with Evie Queen?
A gentleman by the name of Carlos Barrios, who produced Together Forever for Lizette Melendez, okay, and many of those other hits, And he invited me to a session, and I was there for like a week with them, and all of a sudden, but every single day when I'd show up, he writing down, and I'm like, she writes as much as I do.
She was locked in?
She writes as much as I do, and then she's there controlling the whole session. Yo, get me the Terrícolas, which was a Latin group that they were sampling. She was like, I want this and I want this, blah, 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 blah.
Where are we? We're in Puerto Rico, we're here?
We're here. We're
okay.
in Queens.
Okay.
She recorded it in Queens. And she's doing all this stuff, commanding, and I'm going,
¿Y esta tipa?
Yeah. Do they make a ton of you? Because I've been around artists that are told what to do for the majority of my career, right? But to see someone command the room, that's my sister, by the way. I love her.
And that's why she's 101.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody I don't care who comes out. Evie Queen hay que sacarle su comida aparte. Ella come primero. La pechuga y el concón. Las dos cosas se las doy.
And I'll tell you, both of those women, to bring it back full circle, they don't change. They're still the most humblest people
That's
ever.
Beautiful.
I had gone to see Evie in Lehman, and I walked in, and she was like,
Dímelo.
Vente para acá. And she loves us. We're going to take pictures. And I want to see you. And I'm like, I can't. I have to leave. And she was like, she gets mad at me. Just 2 days ago, she's liking my stuff. She's the biggest star. She's one of the biggest stars.
I saw her at Carnegie Hall.
She's liking my stuff. She's liking my daughter's pictures on Instagram.
But that's family to you.
She's family. Both of them are family. Linda's like, she has a zoológico in her basement. That's a totally different story for a totally different.
Not a zoológico.
She has a zoológico in her basement. She has.
I gotta get her up here so she could tell me about the zoológico.
Yeah, tell her about the zoológico. I went into her house. She was living in North Bergen. I walked into her house. She goes, just hang up for a second. I gotta go downstairs. And she calls me downstairs. I come downstairs, and all I see is jaulas, and there's birds and ferrets, and I'm going,
I am not surprised at all. And
I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like,
loving her life and living with her animal.
Amazing.
Now, is it true that her and Mark Anthony were a couple at one time, or is that a fake myth?
No.
I remember they were like, probably because the song, people were like,
Mark and I were best friends in high school. Mm-hmm. That's how they met, because at the time we were all hanging out in the Devil's Nest. They never dated.
Okay, so that's an urban myth.
It's an urban myth.
That they're like, oh, eso eran, they were a couple. The song is so beautiful. I guess we want to romanticize that.
You know what? It's two
perfect,
multi-talented killers going at it. That's the only, when you hear those two together, it's Rick James and Tina Marie.
Pretty much.
It's like a Latino version of that. Like it's hard to control that energy. I wish, as a fan and as a friend, my dream would be to have an album of that.
Imagínate
those two together going back and forth. Duets. Imagine the duets that those two could do if they did an entire album together.
Sick. And you know what? Let's stop down for a second and say, Luis Figueroa, when you cover that duet, you kill it, my guy. You kill it, my guy. When I heard that beat drop and I saw Luis Figueroa, I said, this kid better fucking bring it. He killed it. He definitely killed it.
Yeah.
He got to see his way up here. Me and him got to connect again and make sure he comes up
Good
here.
kid. I like that kid.
I loved him. His energy just so positive, and he's talented.
Yeah.
He could sing.
Yeah.
Most importantly, puede cantar el hombre.
Yeah.
And he's doing salsa, which is important. That we keep, we were talking about that. Lenny Tavares, que tiene una canción nueva para Lo Bonito,
Right.
that they're playing on La Mega. I was like, yes, Lenny. And we were talking about how important it is to keep salsa, fluyendo with younger people.
Right.
We don't want to just, no disrespect, to the greats, but we want new salsa, right?
It's important. Like, look, we celebrate all these years of having groups like El Gran Combo out,
Mm-hmm.
which are the foundation for what we love, right? How much longer are we going to have that university of that sound, right? Time is not our friend. We, even with my music, time is not our friend, that we want it to last us forever. We want to be part of your lives as long as we possibly can. The only way to do that is through support, and it's towards helping this movement. And in speaking of both those styles of music, right, we have to nurture, support, and help preserve, cultivate what we have so that we can keep going. That's the only way it's going to work. I want to know that El Gran Combo is going to be around for another 30, 40, 60 years if possible. I would love to see them celebrate their 100th year, right?
100%, yeah.
Pero, unidos podemos hacer cualquier cosa.
La unión hace la fuerza.
Yeah, that's how we have to make it happen, if anything, right?
Do you ever get tired of being K7 and you're like, I wish?
No, because Monday through Friday I'm dad.
Okay, so you turn it off.
Yeah, I my mom taught me that. One of the important lessons that my mom taught me was that what I do for a living is a job.
Okay.
And I have to try my best to be the best that I can at my job. So I have to work hard to maintain it, and I have to respect it. And my bosses are everybody that shows up to see me do what I do.
Your fans.
So if I leave them happy, then I'm doing the right thing, right? So when I get dressed up on a Friday and a Saturday and I go do what I gotta do, I turn into that guy right before I woke up on stage, and then I come back off, and my wife is yelling me on the way home because I left my socks in the living room.
Pero mira, recoge la media.
I hear him laughing, so he knows that, I go back to being regular, and I like it, and I appreciate it more. It makes me love it more because I can turn it off. I don't want to be that guy 24/7.
Good. I was talking to a megastar, and he just looks so kind of like down. And I looked at him and I said, "Are you tired of being famous?" And he said, "Yes, I am."
I'm not tired. No. God granted me my dream.
Mm-hmm.
How could I be tired of this gift? How could I not cherish it? How could I not love it? How could I take it for granted? God placed me here. So I want it to last me as long as I possibly can.
Good. I'm glad, because sometimes I feel bad for celebrities and for artists. I'm like, I wonder how much, they struggle.
It is a lonely life. I'm not going to travel. I'm going to be honest with you. When you go away, especially when you go overseas, like when you're here in the States, you're a few hours from home. Mm-hmm. But when you go overseas, you're like 12 hours away, and you're going to be out there for a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, you're homesick. You're homesick for the things that you would probably take for granted when you were here. I'm in England, and I'm going, damn, I wonder what they're doing in Fordham Road. But I don't go to Fordham Road. Oh, man, I want to go to Steinway. What am I going to go to Steinway for?
You go shop?
Right. But it happens. And it's FOMO. It's fear of missing out on what you left behind.
And it's crazy. It's like you're over there and you're performing and you're having FOMO of what we're doing back home.
Right. And then you get back and you're like, well, I wasn't missing anything. Damn, I want to go back. But no, it absolutely happens. right? I saw something today. I saw something today that talked about sometimes an artist's heart doesn't allow them to go further because of that fear of missing out or fear of being taken away from their element or their environment. I love what I do, but one of the biggest things of what I do is that I have to go to my boss, the audience. And sometimes it's not here in New York. Sometimes, like I am tomorrow morning, I'm going to Orlando, and I'm going to Tampa, and then I'm going to San Antonio.
My friends are going to see you in Orlando.
Right. And we're traveling to all these different places because that's where they are. And that's what I got in here to be. I got in here to be that guy. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say that I didn't suffer from it. Yeah, I did. But once I got my wits about me, I'm like, what am I worried about? I'm trying to make a better future for myself and for my family. And my mom's voice echoes in my head going, Nene, respeta lo que es tuyo. Go out there and do what you got to do. I remember cutting out of school and being on the, what do you call it, East River, right on the FDR, sitting there on the park bench writing songs with Mark. Mark wrote Boy I've Been Told next to me on the FDR Drive.
That's insane.
Right by John Jay Pool. We walked over the bridge, sat down on a bench. He's on one side of the bench. I'm on the other side. I wrote Don't Be Afraid. He wrote Boy I've Been Told.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah. A year or so later, Sapphire singing it, and Don't Be Afraid came out. And we had two songs. The two songs we wrote are out.
Sitting on a bench.
And we didn't have
a team of writers.
Career and we weren't making money. We were just two kids that cut out of high school to go to the FDR to sit there with loose leaf and pens.
Look at that. This is what God had planned out for you. God didn't want you to do nothing else but this.
Pursue the dream. Pursue your dream. Don't give up on your dream.
And the universe will conspire and make sure it happens for you.
You're manifesting your own dream. You're the one that dilutes or cuts your dream in half. Never give up on yourself. That's the biggest thing. You can't give up on that. Can't give up on that. Look at the people that you see around you. If you see your favorites on TV, if you see your favorites on the radio, those people manifested that. They were pushing for that. They wanted that to happen.
Everything starts as an idea. It all starts here.
Right. And no one is an overnight success.
It takes years to become an overnight success, right? Took you how many?
Forever. Forever.
Did you ever work like outside of music?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I mean,
like, did you ever have to go get a job? Like, yo, this is...
No, like, well, I was a kid and I worked at...
No, I mean as an adult.
No, as an adult, no.
You were always K7?
This is all I've ever done.
Really? That's a blessing.
Outside of working at Hot 97 and at KTU for a minute.
Yeah.
This is all I've ever done.
How'd you end up on the radio? Like, who decided let's put K7 on the radio? Oh, you were just popping and they were like, yo.
At the time, Hot 97 started doing these all-star weekends. And there was a guy responsible for a lot of the hip-hop in New York City and a lot of the freestyle in New York City.
Who that?
This guy named Steve Smith, God rest his soul. And he used to be the program director at Hot 97.
Was it hip-hop yet or not yet?
It was hip-hop / dance. It was coming out of it.
Okay.
And he invited me, Moni Love, and Ms. Jones to be the first, part of the first All-Star Weekend.
Okay.
All we had to do was stand behind the board, press the button, say our lines, our 10 seconds into the next song, which we all pretended to do as kids anyway, right? And then the next song would come on and we'd be there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And we did it one weekend. He liked all of us. He says, do you want to come again and do it next weekend? I'm like, I don't have a show. I could do it. He goes, okay, come Sunday, 2 to 6. All right, 2 to 6. come and do it. He says, do you want to do it every weekend? And I'm like, only on this date during this time, because if I'm traveling away, I can get back in enough time to do it. Sure. Moni did it. Miss Jones did it.
With you together or
No,
separate?
We all had different shifts.
Got it.
And we are the beginning of what Hot 97 would call the All-Star Weekend. It would be us and DJs like Clark Kent, God rest his soul, and Mr. C had come in at that time before he got his shift as well, and we all were doing these All-Star
weekends,
artist weekends, and I became permanent. I worked at Hot for 9 years.
That's a long run.
Yeah, I worked at Hot for 9 years. I would do overnights on Friday nights, so I would finish my shows wherever I was performing within the area, and drive back sometimes in my show outfit, and get behind the board and be there until like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Hold on.
Until Envy would come after me, and he would
take over from you.
He would take over.
So
me.
I did overnight for years, but I voice tracked. You did overnight live?
I did overnight live.
Never. Yo me muero.
I did overnight live, and I'd be falling asleep at the board.
I don't know how you did that.
Don't trust me. I got the hotline would ring sometimes because it'd be dead air for like a minute.
They'd be like, "Yo, no tocaron la canción. What happened? You ain't have it on auto." You
No, I did that. Well, at the time there was no auto. So I would do that, and I did it for 9 years. And the reason that I left Hot wasn't because I wanted to, because I loved Hot. I wanted to stay at Hot. I loved Hot 97. I loved the sense of, at the time, I loved the sense of family at the station. It felt like family.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Because right now,
it's a totally different scenario.
Things that are hot are different. I don't think it's a family environment right now. Yeah. But when you were there, it was.
It was. It was beautiful back then.
God bless. I remember the times.
Yeah. And then I went to KTU, and I did 7 years at KTU.
Weekends also?
Weekends also. Sunday nights. I would do Sunday nights.
What would you play? Was it a specific show or just whatever was programmed?
I'd start Sunday at midnight, and I'd work until 5 a.m.
Again live?
Again live.
I'm so weak because I'm like, my heart can't take it.
The why I left Clear Channel was, for me, coming from a situation that felt like home or like the hood, if you will. Mm-hmm. It felt like people that I knew, which were everyone. I knew everyone there, and then going to something that felt more corporate,
very buttoned up.
Yeah, I felt out of place, even though it was weird because it was a place that was playing my music on a regular basis. All my friends were there, or the guests that would come up would be people that I actually knew, but the corporate energy of it wasn't for me.
Got it.
So I left radio because I didn't want to do that.
You didn't want to be corporate.
I didn't want to be corporate.
You just wanted to have fun, do the interviews, hang out with the homies. It was an outlet, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it was another thing. And then, and
you're an artist. I can see it.
And then the resurgence of this started becoming, for me, a lot more difficult to maneuver doing a late Sunday overnight. Because if I'm in California and I have to fly back and I land at 8, I can't fall out to sleep. I gotta keep myself up until midnight to then do the overnight.
Your body can't take it.
But it's
Pero tú eres un hombre responsable, and you were like, I'm gonna buy out. Thank you. But you did radio for a long time.
I did radio for a long time. I loved it too, though. I liked it a lot.
Radio's a fun time, especially when you get to do interviews and you get to meet your idols and the people you look up to. I'm pretty sure they were your peers. I speak for myself.
Yeah, I've met a few people that I was really happy to have met.
I want to ask you a couple more questions. What's the biggest misconception about K7?
That I'm tall.
Stop your shit, man.
Biggest misconception about K7.
What have you heard that you're like, that's absolute bullshit?
I don't know.
You don't want to tell me what people be saying about you?
You know what? I think that every artist, there's not an artist that I haven't seen throughout my life that people don't make up stories about or exaggerate the truth about. But like, if it helps you want to listen to the music more, run with it. I know who I am. I'm okay.
Okay.
Like a few years ago, I'm not going to lie to you, it used to bother me what people used to think about me. Mm-hmm. It really did. But because I used to be like, well, that's not, the way you think about me is not really who I am, right? And I know what I do when the doors close or when I'm not on stage. And I know that my goal is to help others, right?
You have a good heart.
Yeah, I'm always trying to help somebody else. And the only time when it doesn't work out, I walk away. Mm-hmm. When I try to help somebody and it doesn't work out, I walk away. I don't want to, You don't want
to fight.
Yeah, I want good energy.
Amen.
I want good energy. I want
Buena vibra.
Positive feel. I don't want negativity. So I try to I walk away from bad energy all the time. It brings me peace. And plus, I'm not.
Dime.
I hardly ever admit this, but I'm not young enough now to want to, chase trouble. I don't want to even chase trouble.
We don't want drama. We want peace. We want good wine. We want good vacations.
Yeah. I write music, throughout my life. I write music to party to, and I write music to feel to. I don't want to write music to, to war over.
Never.
Why?
That's true. Is there a song that you've written that I might know that you're like, that most people don't know you wrote? Or did you keep all your songs for yourself?
No, I wrote songs for the Cover Girls. I wrote a song for George Lamond.
Which one?
It's called "I Love You," More Than Words Can Say, which is honestly the prototype to. It was my first attempt at writing what later became "Louder Than Love."
Really?
So I wrote this prototype, and I wanted to do it, like that. But when I brought it to my manager would turn down everything that I would do. Joey Gardner would turn down everything that I would do until he heard someone else sing it.
And then
he goes, "I want it back."
Oh, now. You're like a kid that don't want his toy.
Funny story, "Give Your Love to Me" by TKA. I had done it, recorded it, brought it to him, said, "This is a demo for us." And he listens to it, and he goes, "Nah." So I gave it back, and then they remixed it slightly. They put Mark Anthony, Joey Kidd, George Lamond, and Chrissy Ais, and Danny Vargas on the song. And then my manager heard it, says, "I want that song back."
Now you want it back?
I want that song back. Yes, please give me that song back. Yeah.
No, man. Now I want you to pick, the best freestyle song ever. Best that you're like, yo, this is the one.
I was asked this yesterday.
You were?
I was asked.
How did this happen?
I was talking to my friend Ted Smooth, DJ Ted Smooth.
I know.
The Remix King, and he said to me, "Kay, what's your favorite freestyle song of all times?" My favorite freestyle song of all times is done by a young lady from Brooklyn by the name of Lydia Lee Love. She sang this song called "Don't Take Your Love From Me."
That's a good song.
That is, to me, I heard it all. That is my favorite freestyle song of all times. My second favorite freestyle song of all times is "Without You" by George Lamond. And then my third would be probably "Hooked on You" by my best friend. Not for any apparent reason, but that is part, for me, the order.
That's the three-headed monster right there?
That's the three-headed monster. Those are the songs I play. Now, there's other songs that I like, but to me, those three are... I don't really listen to freestyle outside of work.
What do you listen to?
Hip-hop. I've always listened to hip-hop.
You're a hip-hop head?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Jay-Z in the Bronx?
Yes.
Which night?
The first night. My son got me Father's Day a gift, and he took me to see.
That was a good
Jay-Z.
night.
Yeah, in fact, that's the reason I'm here, because I saw Ahmed.
Oh yeah.
That same day. So
You went night one.
So I went night one, but I watched night two and night three, while I was coming back from shows. So
You were online watching everything?
Yeah, I was driving back from Wildwood on night three. So that whole...
Yo no dormí. Night three, I was up to like 3 a.m. I'm like, what's going on?
You know what I'm doing? While you're falling asleep, I'm driving back from Wildwood, New Jersey, because I had a show on the beach that day, and I'm driving back and watching it as I'm driving it back. So I have it here, and I'm driving my car on
risking your whole life just to watch Hove.
Hove is. You know what the funny thing is? I've known Hove since the beginning of his career, because his first song, Hawaiian Sophie, was on Tommy Boy Records.
I just saw that video the other day. That video is insane.
Yeah, that was on our label. So him and Jazzo, Jazzo was my label mate back then.
And then he puts on Jay-Z.
And then he puts on Jay-Z. So I would remember them coming up we would all be hanging out on the couch, and on Tommy Boy's couch outside in the hallway.
Well, you got stories. You need a Netflix documentary. That's what you need. You don't need a Gracias Come Again episode.
The one image that I would love to show is me with a box of flyers walking back from Lenox all the way back into Harlem to 96th Street, which is at the beginning of Harlem. That's the image that I would want people to see. Me carrying a box of flyers, because back then it wasn't the internet. It was pass them out one by one to everyone.
Eso era en persona.
Yeah.
Promoting your albums, your records, your flyers, but we're proud of you. Man.
Thank you.
What you've done, since the inception of your career, and what you've continued to do to this day. Because artists come, artists go. We have people that are one-hit wonders, but not. Thank you. You put up those numbers on the board.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And, we're happy, that you're active. We're happy, that you led the way, because I remember the boys in my family, my cousins, my brother Robert, just performing your songs and seeing themselves in you.
And that's why we did it. And thank you, because that touched me. Thank you, because that's why we did it. So
you go there, man. Respect to you, man.
You didn't ask me the one question that I thought you were going to ask me.
Which one? Talk to me.
There's one question that you ask everyone.
Which one?
The Mount Rushmore question.
Well, you know what? I felt like, you know what? Why don't we do it with the groups? Instead of doing the Mount Rushmore of freestyle, give me the 4 top, freestyle groups.
I'll tell you this.
Tell me.
My answer for both, whether you would ask me the other one, is the same one.
Give it to me.
We are a movement. We can't have one mountain.
Okay.
We would need the Rocky Mountains, because everybody in freestyle is important. We start this movement. It was about all of us making a way for ourselves. And it's 40-something odd years later, and all of us are still performing week in and week out. So it's not about one person or 4 people up on a mountain. It's about all of us going up the Rocky Mountain, so you see all our faces going up the Eastern Seaboard.
Hey, I love that, man. That's respect to you. Really, really, really respect to you, because you all deserve your flowers.
Thank
and I
you.
am just so happy when I see those graphics and I see those flyers and I see that list of all these artists still eating, getting paid, touring. I'm like, they got some good shit going on here, because if it didn't die out ever, the music is timeless and it's classic, and you're all goats in my eyes.
I appreciate that, but I want to say something to you.
Tell me.
Sky's the limit for you. As someone that's watching from the outside, I want to see you fly.
Hey.
Continue to make us proud. Do your thing. You got this. And God bless you.
Gracias. Come again.
Anytime.